Welcome to Crack It. Today we are going to start a new series for the Java 8 features. In this video, we are going to discuss about default methods in the interfaces, static methods in the interfaces, and the functional interfaces, along with coding an example. So, what are the changes to the interfaces after Java 8? Before Java 8, we will have only abstract method in our interfaces, and every class implementing that interface should override all the methods. There is no exception for that. Suppose let's consider a scenario wherein I have an interface, I have implemented it in 5 different classes and that code is already in production now. But now I realized that I need to add one more method to that interface. How can I achieve it before Java 8? I need to go to all the 5 classes and I need to override that newly added method. Is this a good practice to do? No, this is not a good practice to do. The other way I can do is like I can create a separate interface for that method and I can implement to my class and I can override that method to my class, but that won't work logically every time. This was the problem in Java for a very long time, and Java provides us a solution to this in the Java 8 version. So let's see what the solution is. It is the default methods in interfaces. So before Java 8, we will have only abstract methods. But after Java 8, we can have default methods along with the abstract methods in the interfaces. A default method should be declared with the keyword default, and default methods must have a body. It is not abstract and it is optional for the classes implementing that interface to override them. So suppose class A and class B override an interface, class A can override this default method. Class B, if it is not required, there is no need for it to override that method. It is not mandatory. How this problem is solved after Java 8? After Java 8, we can add that one more method which I realized very late as my default method along with the implementation, so that the classes which is implementing them can override or cannot override. Like default methods, we can also have static methods in our interface. They are like the default methods except that we will not be able to override them in our implementing classes. Why do we need it then? If we want to provide some specific functionality or a generic functionality for all the classes that is going to implement my interfaces, that we need to provide as static methods. Functional interfaces are also introduced after Java 8. Let us now going to see the interface from the Java code. So this is a comparator interface, and we can see that they have mentioned at functional annotation here, which means this is a functional interface. Functional interface should have only one abstract method, and that abstract method for this functional interface is compare method. We have this equals also as abstract method here, but I will explain this why this method is here later in the slide. And then if we see here, we have many default methods reversed, then comparing all these are default methods, and we also have static method here. If you see here, nulls first, nulls last, or the static methods. As we just discussed, these static classes cannot be overridden by the implementing classes, whereas the default methods can be overridden or cannot be overridden based on their choice. What is a functional interface now? A functional interface is an interface which will have only one abstract method. This will perform only one functionality, and lambda expressions introduced in Java 8 are used to represent this functional interface. And these functional interfaces are also called as single abstract method interfaces. We will discuss more about the lambda expressions in our next video. Will my functional interface have only one abstract method? It can have default methods, static methods, and the methods inherited from the Java class along with this one abstract method. Also, the functional interface are represented using the annotation at functional interface, and if I have at functional interface annotation on top of my interface, and if I have more than one abstract method, then the compiler flag it as unexpected at functional interface annotation message. But using this is optional, but this is like a check that is for the interface. And we have a few functional interfaces in Java such as runnable, comparable, and callable. This is the comparator functional interface that I have opened again. If we see here, we have this equals abstract method here. What is this? This is the method that is overridden from the Java object class. So as we just discussed in our slide, we can have methods, default, static, and the methods from the object class to our functional interfaces. I've created a functional interface here wherein I have one abstract method which accepts two input parameters and returns one parameter. So I'll try to add one more method here and let's see what happens. I have added this method, and if we can see that we are getting a compilation issue. What is that issue? Multiple non-overriding abstract methods found in interface. Remove the annotation. Why? Because if I define an interface as a functional interface, it should have only one abstract method. If I have more than one abstract method, this compiler issue will come. So I'll remove this for now. And now I don't have any errors. In this example, we are creating an implementation for a functional interface. So a functional interface has one method, operate, it accepts two parameters and returns one method. And we are implementing that in this example. If you see here, we need to represent the functional interface using the lambda expressions, and this is a lambda expression which accepts this a and b is the input parameter and this is the output parameter which is going to return me a plus b. So if I execute this program by calling this addition.operate of two input parameters, it is returning me 5. This is how the functional interfaces work. If you are not more clear about this lambda expression, that is okay. We will cover it in the next slide. These are the interview questions that we covered today. Why do we need default methods? Why do we need static methods? What is the use of it? What are functional interfaces or the single abstract methods in interfaces in Java? Can we have a custom functional interface? Yes, we have. We have created in our example as well. What is the use of a functional interface? Yes, we saw that if we have two abstract methods and we are using this at functional interface, the compiler will throw error. Can a functional interface extend or inherit another interface? Yes, it can extend or inherit another interface, but that interface shouldn't have any abstract methods. In that case, it's a yes. Can we have methods other than abstract methods in functional interface? Yes, we saw that we can have static methods, default methods, and the methods from the object class, and a few standard predefined Java functional interfaces like callable, runnable, comparator examples. We can discuss about lambda expressions, predicates, streams, and few other Java features in our next videos. Thanks for watching Crack It. Please do like, share, and subscribe.